Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to build a quick little explorer game that will show you a couple of things of how to use an animated sprite, as well as it's going to show you how to sit there and move to different levels based on a collision. You can take that concept maybe a little bit farther for, I don't know, maybe homework 2, where you have to move to a level after a certain situation happens. So hopefully this will give you some insight into that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our sprites. Okay, and we're going to name them real quickly sprite underscore left, right, up, and down. And what we're going to load is we're going to sit there and we're going to go into your username, app data, roaming, game maker, sprites, maze platform. Okay, if you have trouble finding that, I'll show you here towards the end how you can sit there and actually open that up. Okay, that is where Game Maker has by default installed all these resources that you can use. And what we're going to use is we're going to use the Explorer. So you can see the Explorer down there, and here's the Explorer left strip, right strip, and up strip. So this time we want the left. You do need to make sure you click the remove the background. Don't forget about that, or you're going to have this square floating around your little character, and click OK. Now, I want to talk just for a second about images, because you'll notice there's 8 images, and I can use this button right here to move around through them. But sometimes it's easier to see all your images by just clicking on Edit Sprite, even though you don't mean to edit anything. So I'm going to click Edit Sprite, and you can see all the images, and it shows the preview. Notice how they're numbered. They're numbered image 0 through image 7. That's going to be important later on. Okay? So we're not going to edit that. We're going to click OK, and we're going to do the exact same thing for sprite underscore right, and we're going to load the sprite, and it does remember where you just were, so you're not going to have to find it again the next time. Okay, so there's Explorer right. Make sure to remove background, and then we're going to click sprite underscore down, and what you want to do is make sure you select the correct sprite for what you're trying to do. Okay, I know somebody in class who will go nameless who actually used the same sprite for all 4 of these, the same image on all 4, and of course that caused all sorts of problems when they couldn't figure out why it wasn't working like it was supposed to. Okay, and last but not least, because we're going to use it later on, we might as well build it now, we're going to create a sprite for a door. And if I remember correctly, we do have a door right here. Again, remove the background and click open. Okay, this is not animated. We're just using it as an object. Okay. Now, what if you didn't see those things? Okay. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to go into Windows Explorer. Okay, you My Computer. So you just open up your computer. Okay, and you're going to go under the C drive. And if you under users and whatever your user is. Now, if you don't see app data, that means hidden files are not being shown. So you can go under the Organize tab. You can sit there and go under Folder and Search Options. Under the View tab, and partway down you will see hidden files and folders, and you want to show them. By default, it's set for Don't Show. Once you change that, you just click OK, and then you should be able to begin seeing what they all are. Okay. Now we're going to sit there and using stepwise refinement, we're going to sit there and build our objects. So the first thing we're going to do is build the first object, which is object underscore explorer. And we're going to give it a sprite, and we're going to give it a sprite that's the down sprite, because we want him facing us. Typically an image faces us when we do that, when we're by ourselves. Okay. Now we want to start the player with facing us. So let's go ahead and just see what happens. Here he is. Let's go create a room. Okay, we're going to create a room, and we're going to sit there and put the Object Explorer just someplace in the middle there. Okay, and we can just save that room there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run it so you can see what it's doing. And you will see that it's not going to do exactly what we want. Okay. And it's loading, and you can see he's running for his life right here. Okay, clearly not what we want. So let's close that. And what we're going to want to do is, now that we have the Object Explorer, what we're going to do is we're going to sit there and add a create event, and we're going to use something called change sprite. It's on the main one tab. Okay, and we're going to use the same sprite, so we're really not changing sprites. Remember those sub-images? We want sub-image 0. Okay, now if we don't want those images to automatically rotate, and this speed is the speed of the images, not the speed of the object, or the sub-images, I guess is a better way to say it. So we're going to make that 0. So we want sub-image 0 to show up. That's the first image, and with a speed of 0. Okay, now we're going to click OK. And again, our stepwise refinement, we're going to run this again. And what we should hopefully see is that we should have our guy just sitting there looking at us. Okay, again, stepwise refinement. Okay, now remember how those sub-images work though. They rotate through all the sub-images starting at whatever image you put here, and normally it's 0 anyways, at whatever speed you've got here. And you're going to see where that speed can cause us a problem. Okay, now two things we're going to do. We're going to add our left keyboard now. Okay, and we want to move to the left, and we won't move very fast. We'll go at 3 for now. Okay, and we need to change our sprite now, don't we? And we need to change our sprite to sprite left. Now, we do want to start our image 0, okay, and speed 1. And let's just see what happens for a second, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start this up, and I'm going to pause this for a second. And I obviously didn't pause it, so sorry about that. And what we're going to do is, if I move left now, notice he's not doing, oh, and he's still going. But notice he wasn't doing anything at first. The problem is that when we change sprites, there's two things. Once, remember, the left keyboard is going every step, so that's 30 times a second by default. And so that every time we reset it to image 0. Okay, well, we can cheat. There's a special way that if we use subimage -1, even though there was not a -1 image there, you see that it's going to sit there and actually continue rotating through the images. Now, I already know that the image speed is too fast. You're still not going to be able to see it. So we're going to change it to 0.5. Okay, now before we test anything else, we want him to stop when we let go of the arrow key. That didn't happen last time. So we're going to go back in and do another keyboard and do a no key, and we're going to just reverse what we did. We're going to stop him. Remember, you have to select the center, and we're going to sit there and change sprite again, just like we did for the create. It's going to be a sprite down, subimage 0, image 0. Okay. And now if we look at this, and now if we run it, you should see here momentarily that now he looks like he's supposed to do, and when I let go of the arrow, let go, push, let go, he stops. Okay? So what we did was we sat there and we have a left that gives him a direction, and then we change them in the sprite. The key things we have to remember is subimage -1, speed of 0.5, and that may change depending how the animation is that you're using for your particular sprite. So what we're going to do is very quickly, and I'm not going to say a lot right now, but so you can still see it in the recording, I'm going to sit there and create our right, up, and down, and you should do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to do right first, and I'm going to sit there and we're going to move him to the right, and we said speed of 3, should keep it consistent. Go here, go to the sprite, he is going to the right. Remember, it is -1, and the speed is going to be 0.5. And now we do the same thing with the keyboard for up. Notice I usually like to go in that same order. I'm already on the sprite one, so let me put him here. Sprite up. speed, the image is -1 to get them to rotate, 0.5. Then I'm going to move, and I'm going to put it up front just because I like the move first. Try to be consistent. This is up at a speed of 3. And last but not least, we're going to add down. Okay, and we have our direction at a speed of 3, and then we have our sprite, which should be sprite down, subimage of -1, and a speed of 0.5. Now, if we did all this correctly, what should we we should see here is, and it should be coming up any second now, I should be able to move all directions with the appropriate animation, and it should stop and face me every time. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop this video now and create another one because I've got a 15-minute limit here to show you how to sit there and use a collision with an object to move to another level. Okay? So, talk to you shortly.